Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on the Silver Mountain, and welcome back. Now today I wanted to talk about, well, originally I was going to make two videos, one on optimism and one on pessimism, and then I had to think about it and I was like, do you know what though? It doesn't work. The whole optimism-pessimism thing, because you need a healthy appreciation of both. You need hope and you need the concern and the cynicism that something's gonna go wrong and it's all gonna go kind of fall flat for you. And so I'm gonna instead go back to a thing that I've kind of tried to live by for a while now, most of my adult life at least, which is kind of hope for the best but prepare for the worst. You know, it's a fairly simple kind of adage to go by, but at the same time it's something that a lot of people seem to lose sight of. They don't want to stand in that middle ground where they're ready, prepared and set for anything that goes wrong, but also are really happy and excited and hopeful for the things that are coming up. They tend to lose sight of that, and they tend to either go for completely pessimistic and locking themselves away, or incredibly optimistic and being overly open to what they think is going to happen. And obviously this then leads to huge other problems that can span out through all manner of things. But as a result, this kind of the way to deal with this, to my mind, comes down to two questions, yeah, and they're both what-if questions. And so it's whatever the situation is that's going on, then I tend to look at it like, okay, well, here's the situation, so what if everything goes really well, though? What if everything goes really terribly? So what would I need for either of those two things? It's a fairly straightforward and easy thing. I've kind of touched on this and talked about this in regards to coaching and stuff before, where you've got the questions like, okay, so what are the pros and cons of doing this? Or what are the pros and cons of not doing this? It's all about weighing it up and having something to kind of compare between. And so if you're sat there and you're looking at a situation and you go, okay, well, this seems terrible. Like, I'm going to need this, and I'm going to need this, and even then it might not go well, and it all seems dreadful. Well, in which case, then the next question you should be asking is, well, if I've got this and this, then what happens if it goes well? Because more and more often, recently, people are being incredibly pessimistic, in my experience, from the people I'm talking to, the people I'm seeing. And as a result, because they're being incredibly pessimistic, and they're like, no, it won't work. There's no way it'll work. There's no, even though the facts say it will be okay, it doesn't add up to me. It all seems miserable. It seems like so much hard work for nothing. Oh, I just give up. Then when it goes well, they end up in a worse situation because they are surprised by the fact that it went well. They are not prepared for it going well. Yeah. Oh well, we're not going to make that extra 25 grand. We shouldn't even. We made 30. Shit. What do we do with what? How did we make that? What do we do? And so as a result, because there's that sudden element of surprise and concern around something going well, then you've got this big gap between, yeah, thing went well, but then there's no follow-up on it, which means that potentially it went well and then falls off into nothingness again, which is a kind of miserable and sad situation to be in, where something's suddenly gone well against, to your mind, all odds, and yet then it actually does go poorly because you've been slow to capitalize on it, or because you didn't have a plan, or you didn't have what you needed to capitalize on it after the fact. And obviously, I think we all know the pain of it being the other way around, where if you see a thing and you're like, it'll be easy, it'll be wonderful, absolutely wonderful, I'll be sorted for life with this, yeah? Be it in a relationship, be it in business, be it whatever, there's always those things where we're sat there going, oh, this will be terrific. Oh, I'll go out on a date with her, it'll go swimmingly, and then we'll be forever together. And of course, then it goes horribly wrong, the date goes terribly, and you're left feeling miserable afterwards, and stuff like that. Same with business. Oh, well, this week we should be able to do a whole load of extra sales. It should be up on last week by 20%. it's down by 50. Shit, what happened? We weren't prepared for this at all, you know. And so as a result, that then also leads to terrible situations, because not only has something gone, completely tits up, everything has gone wrong for you, but then you're not prepared. You've got no way to remedy that situation and make sure that you've got the tools and the assets that you require to correct what has gone wrong. So again, this is where, even if I feel really good about a situation, I go, okay, so but what if it goes really well? What if it actually goes really, perfectly? Do I have everything that I would need to see that out the other end? If it goes really badly, then am I prepared for it to go really badly? Do I have everything that I'd need to correct it? If I think it's going to go badly and I've got everything that I need if it goes badly, have I got everything that I need if it goes right? If everything goes well? And the other way around, where, well, I think it's going to go well and I've got everything laid out for if it goes well. I've got my 20-year plan for if it goes well, but if it goes wrong, then do I have everything? Am I sure that I've got everything that I would need to bounce back if it does go badly? And it's part of the kind of options to way forward part of the grow model that I've been through with you guys before, where you've got your goal and you've worked out if it's realistic or not, but then you need your options. You need to know both the good and bad of everything that you have access to. Yeah, weighing up which is the best way forward overall, but also making sure that you've got those contingency plans, those other things in place just in case. And obviously this can lead to extra expenditure of time and energy just to make sure that you've got those contingencies, those things in place in case something goes really well or really poorly. But it's worthwhile overall if it means the kind of, regardless of what happens, you're sorted. And this idea, as I've kind of been suggesting through some of the examples I've been giving, can be applied to pretty much any area of your life. Business, have I got everything that I need to capitalize on great sales or bounce back from if the sales drop? Family, we've got so many different things coming up. Little Timmy's going off to this, and my wife's got this thing at work, and I've got this, and then we've got grandparents coming or whatever else. How do we tackle all of that? We think it's going to be really, just go swimmingly because we're really happy with our situation and we've got everything planned out for that. But do you have everything planned out for if it goes badly as well, just in case? Yeah, obviously romance, as said. Oh, well, she'd never date me, but what if she would? Oh, well, he'll just fall in love with me at the first moment he sees me, but what if he doesn't? Yeah, it's making sure that again, returning to the idea of kind of balance and making sure that you have awareness and understanding of your situation, making sure that you've got all of that taken into account and taken care of, just so that then you can live a happy, quiet life of just going through everything that you need to go through, and that'll be it. It can be excruciatingly hard going through some of these things and realizing that you missed something. But it's better to miss something small and have the bigger picture taken care of than miss the entirety of the bigger picture and only have something small to try and dig yourself out of a pit with. It's one of these things that I keep seeing over and over again, where people are either too full of hope, too full of optimism, too full of their own self-worth even, or spinning it around the other way, where they are too pessimistic, not willing to take risks, not willing to ensure that the even if they do take a risk, that they'll be kind of protected after that, or that they were protected beforehand so the risk wasn't necessary. Or maybe even the risk was part of the bounce back plan, but then you've got to make sure that risk is taken into account for if things got worse. So, it's making sure that you just take a couple of minutes, just sit down, relax, look over things on both sides of positivity and negativity, just to make sure you've got that balance, just to make sure you've got that well-rounded plan. As I've said before, the question to ask in regards to whether or not you're worried about taking specific actions, again, what are the pros and cons of doing it? What are the pros and cons of not doing it? Weigh them up, because also as you're going through that, you'll probably find out what you want to do more. You know, if you've got, oh well, I need to do this, and the pros and cons are like there's 5 cons and only a handful of pros, but then on the other side, actually there are more pros to you not doing it just because of the way that you feel around it, because of the things that it would involve you in or whatever else. Maybe it gives you more of an idea of what you actually wanted to do and where you actually wanted to go, instead of being stuck in this kind of limbo between these actions and not being able to make a decent choice, and possibly ensuring that those choices are both solid and aren't going to leave you with nothing if something either goes wrong or goes really, really right and you weren't expecting it. But anyway, guys, as I've said before, please leave your comments down below in regards to times that you've experienced this, where either you've hoped too much or not hoped enough, and where it's kind of left you floundering because either things went terribly and you didn't expect them to and it's sort of all fallen to pieces, or you were expecting them to go terribly and they went really, really well and you were taken by surprise. You know, how did you get through those situations? Because those can be really tough to get through. But either way, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then please drop us a like, share this video, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care.